Uganda is the Pearl of Africa. Its green vegetation, beautiful hills, famous mountains like Rwenzori and Elgon, thick ancient tropical rainforests like Bwindi impenetrable, which is home to mountain gorillas, large water bodies like Lake Victoria, crater lakes, waterfalls, and its cultural diversity make it a must-visit country. Its welcoming citizens rely mostly on agriculture, which is the main source of income in the rural communities. Kyenjojo is one of the districts in Uganda located in its western part. Despite its fertile soil that makes it a better place for agriculture, many communities of Kyenjojo district are still living in poverty. In one of the villages of Kyenjojo district called Mukonomura lived a very young boy called Joseph. Joseph's father was an alcoholic who always came back home drunk and could subject both Joseph and his mother to serious beating. After years of enduring domestic violence, Joseph's mother could not bear it anymore. She then decided to leave Joseph's father while he was only 4 years old. Joseph remained under the care of his father, who could hardly provide for him food and other basic needs. After a few months, his father married another woman. That is when Joseph's trouble deepened. The stepmother subjected Joseph to more torture. Imagine a child who is 4 years old spending nights in the bush just to avoid the wrath of his stepmother. This suffering forced Joseph to leave his father's home and start spending nights in the bush and sometimes inside abandoned huts around the village. One day, an old woman woke up early and found a young boy deeply asleep inside her kitchen. Surprised, she woke the young boy up and asked him what was happening. That's when Joseph narrated his story to the old woman. Deeply touched, the old woman, who as well knew about Joseph's father, decided to welcome him and let him stay. She already had another granddaughter who was orphaned at a very early age, called Brenda. The old woman was named Sarah. And this is how Sarah became the grandmother to Joseph. The grandmother had a dream of taking Joseph and his sister to school one day. At the village, there was a primary school that offered education to community children at a low cost. and very many children in the community of Mukonomura who could not afford school fees elsewhere enrolled here. Sarah, the grandmother, thought of taking Joseph and her other granddaughter to that school too, so that they may have a bright future. But she was limited because she had no source of income. The grandmother, who was already weakened by sickness, stopped all other income-generating activities and stayed home, while Joseph and his sister took the lead. Every day, they woke up very early and started with the house chores. Joseph was very passionate about taking care of his grandmother's birds. Their grandmother wakes up and starts instructing Joseph and Brenda about more work to be done during the day. While other children are going to school, Joseph and his sister could carry their hoes and go to dig in their grandmother's garden. As young as they are able to work as adults in order for their family to survive. They have to cover a distance of close to 4 kilometers to reach the garden. And finally, when they reached the garden, they would get sweet potatoes that would be eaten for supper. This would be their unique meal of the day. They also collect some potato leaves for the 2 pigs that are being reared at home, with the aim of raising some money for their grandmother's treatment. In order to gain more strength to cover the distance back home, they eat some raw sweet potatoes. The two seemed to be tired, but since the sun didn't appear that morning, the cool weather helps them in their journey. And finally, they are home. The grandmother helps the girl to lower the heavy basket full of sweet potatoes as Joseph takes the leaves to the pigs. Like other communities, Mukonomura is faced with limited access to clean water. Its members need to move for a long distance in order to get water. The well is at a distance of about 3 kilometers from home. The two, with other children in the neighborhood, do a little bit of jogging in order to reduce the time they are going to spend on the way. This is where they fetch water from. The well was dug by the community members, but the source of water is not safe for consumption. Yet the whole village, including their animals, rely on this unique well. They are exposed to different diseases. And not only that, during the dry season, the well dries up, which subjects the whole community into more suffering. Back home, with 15 liters of water, that would not be enough for both drinking, bathing, cooking, washing utensils and clothes. Joseph and her sister frequent the well twice or thrice a day. Today, the grandmother is not feeling well. She has a fever and a serious body ache. Brenda brings a mat and the grandmother lays down with difficulty under the sunshine. Joseph comes and asks what could be done, and the grandmother tells them to go and pick up one of the jackfruits from the tree and sell in order to get some money and buy medicine. After collecting the jackfruit, it's time to go and sell it. Joseph knows that he'll be moving for a long distance while looking for a buyer. So he needs to carry his maiden bicycle, which is an old motorcycle tire, to help him in his movement. Because of the love for his grandmother, Joseph would not mind to move for a longer distance just to look for the buyer of his jackfruit. Joseph walks throughout the village until he reaches a small trading center where he would find a potential buyer for his jackfruit. The bargaining starts. I will only offer you 1,000 shillings. No, replies Joseph. At least 5,000, because the jackfruit is big and ripe. Finally, the transaction is concluded. Immediately, Joseph picks his maiden bicycle and rushes to a nearby drug shop, where he will buy medicine for his grandmother. He briefly explains to the pharmacist the state in which he left his grandmother. And the pharmacist makes a prescription. After getting the medicine, there is another long distance to cover while going back home. But with the help of his maiden bicycle, he is faster than before. He reaches home and immediately approaches the grandmother. Water, please. The grandmother can now swallow her medicine. With a deep thought, Joseph's mind has many unanswered questions. Will we ever get out of this poverty? Will my sister and I ever get a chance to go to school? Will our grandmother, who is our only pillar, ever get access to quality medical attention? All these questions could not get an answer, but there is still hope. Joseph lights up the fire in order to cook supper. And the supper is ready. Today's supper is comprised of sweet potatoes and avocado. They must eat enough of it so that it takes them to the next day, which is uncertain too. Like all other children, Joseph loves playing football during his free time. He is good at making balls out of banana fibers, which is common among children in different African communities. Joseph with his friends join other community children already waiting for them for a challenging football game. Joseph is our hero. He has given us victory. Even though our hero and other children in this community are missing one of the most important steps in a child's life, and that is education. There is always light at the end of the tunnel. Sarah, the grandmother, heard about the impact of Noah's Ark organization in her community, and then got the courage to approach its leaders for possible support for this vulnerable child, Joseph. Noah's Ark, whose vision is to eradicate hunger, poverty, illiteracy, and preventable diseases, embraced Joseph with love. Today, Joseph, with many other children from his community, are under the full care of Noah's Ark organization. He is now living his dream of becoming an orthopedic surgeon.
Looking at Joseph's story, we find that it has a lot in common with the rest of the community children because they go through similar challenges as he does. And I'm one of those that was born and raised in the same community and went through similar challenges, but God helped me overcome. I remember accessing 2 meals a day was very hard, and hard of actually the rest of the day was spent, feeding on wild food like fruits and stuff. Accessing education was very hard because we never had the money to pay for the needs that were required of us at school. And looking at the health levels and the health needed for the community, I remember my mother, when she got an accident, she was instead carried by men in a bed sheet with sticks to the hospital and walking long distances. And I never thought she would ever make it back safe. But God helped us and she came back alive and fine. And when I reached at the university, I still failed to raise the required amount to pay for a semester. And so what I did, I felt very unloved and I felt I would never make it in life. So I committed to deciding to commit suicide. But thank God, a friend helped me that realized the problem and paid it up all. And in the rest of the 2 years, I was paid for by an organization that helped me accomplish my course. And it was at this point when I got a vision of Noah's Ark organization, and whose vision was to have a community that is free from hunger, poverty, illiteracy, and preventable diseases.
At the beginning of Noah's Ark, we had a need for children to go to school. These children were very young that could not walk a long distance to the schools that were available by then. So we resorted to opening up a small primary school, starting from kindergarten to a few classes in primary school. When we opened up, the community brought so many other children, and guess what? We were so overwhelmed. And by that time, we did not have the funding. The structures were very poor. By the way, the nursery school was under a mango tree and the other classes were in a chicken house. So we did not know how we could continue. We decided to use our salary, which was not enough. We went and picked our savings, which was also not enough. At last we resorted to selling our cows. In the heart of helping these children access quality education, because this is one of our greatest objectives as Noah's Ark.
Having the vision of Noah's Ark in hand, I realized that there was a very big component missing in the puzzle, and that's my wife. So I prayed to God to help me with that particular woman or wife that would help me think like the way I was thinking, love the children like I thought about them and everything. And you know what? God answered me with a queen. my wife, Beatrice. And then when she came, I realized she had gone through similar challenges and through same life. And then she embraced the organization and the vision as if she had started from level 0. So I thank God for her.
After that, some of the people, God touched their hearts and they came alongside us, they started supporting us. And right now, we have moved from stages of construction from one level to another, up to now when God has given us this magnificent structure. We praise God.
Children's education is a highway to success and leads to total transformation of communities. With this in mind, Noah's Ark has built Joy Christian Nursery and Primary School. It aims at helping orphans and vulnerable children under its care to access quality education.
We are serving so many children that are orphans and vulnerable from the same school, but also some of the community members that are able to pay tuition can now bring their children.
Actually, here at Joy Christian Nursery and Primary School, Kasena Chenjejo District, we have qualified and passionate teachers that give time in developing learners holistically. We instill in them social discipline, moral discipline, spiritual discipline, academic discipline, in addition to the life skills empowerment that is propelled by practical teaching of various subjects like mathematics, social studies, and other art subjects.
My name is Kemuk Sapis. I study from Joy Christian School, Kasina. I and my colleague are in primary 7. We are in the second term of our last year, then we got secondary. What I like about my school is we have good teachers who teach us very well and ensure that we get the things they are teaching us, which helps us to pass exams. The second thing I like about my school is the food we feed on is very good, and we feed on a balanced diet which makes us healthy like the way I am. The third thing I like about my school is the water facility, because it is very good. We take good water which helps us to control diarrhea diseases in our school. Lastly, the thing I like about my school is the environment, because we have a lot of fun in it.
As Noah's Ark, right now, we are taking care of so many children. In primary school, 100 children. In secondary school, we now have 46. And we have 11 in tertiary and universities. Some of them are studying from Mountains of the Moon University, and they're doing so great. You can't believe the hope these children are having because of Noah's Ark.
My name is Faith Kopsing. I'm 23 years old. I was born and raised in Mukonomwa village, which is in Chenjejo district. I was born in a family of 6 children with both our parents. But after some time, when I was 9 years old, I lost my father, and we were left with our mom, who was ill, so ill that her health kept on and off. And we were left with no hope of the future.
I'm Sarah Kisembo. I have 23 years. I was born in a family of 7 children. My dad died when I was 3 years, and we were born from different mothers and were scattered by then. So when the total mess, my grandparents wouldn't cope up.
I'm Patience Gumisiriza. I'm 22 years old. I was born in a family of 7, but from different mothers. My father died when I was 6 years old.
In 2010, Noah's Ark came to our rescue, adopted us, me and my sister. I'm now at the university pursuing Bachelor's of Business Administration. So far, I've acquired so many skills.
So we kept on looking for help until after the 8th month in 2010, when we found Noah's Ark family that adopted us into the family. And since then our lives have changed, and the way of life, schooling, health, and everything has changed. They have been there for us, they have parented us. It was that time when I was in primary 3. They took care of me from that time with my siblings. I'm now at the university, at Mountains of the Moon University, pursuing a Bachelor of Science in Agriculture. And I'm in my 2nd year, my 1st semester. And by next year, I'll be finishing my course.
But by 8 years, I was adopted by Noah's Ark, and I became very happy, and my life was very, very good.
And I hope when I complete with my education, I'll go back to the village and teach the families those skills in order to help themselves and their children to sustain themselves.
As a result of Noah's Ark, I managed to reach university and pursuing a Bachelor's of Arts with Education. And I want to be a very great teacher of entrepreneurship and a lecturer in future. I want to teach people not to be job seekers, but be job creators.
Looking forward to going back into the village, being a great farmer who will transform the village, give them the practicals, the practices, help themselves sustain their lives, that they shouldn't go through what I've gone through, and my family, that they should also be there to sustain themselves with the skills, that they can produce for themselves what they want, and I be their example. That is what I wish to do for the community.
I'm Tumwebaze Richard, 22 years old. Our life has not been easy, but our stories are almost the same. We have passed through hard time, but I want to thank God for Noah's Ark family. Ever since it came onto us, our life has been transformed. Currently, as my fellows, I'm at the university pursuing bachelor's degree with education, and I'm hopefully to go back to the village and act as an agent of change, also to earn money, to transform the community so as they can also see that education is more important.
My name is Brenzwile Wambede. I'm the communications officer in charge of public relations at Mountains of the Moon University. Noah's Ark being an organization that gives us their children to enroll here and study. We are happy because they already have 4 students whom they are sponsoring at this campus, and this year they are bringing more 3, which is going to make a total of 7. And while with us, we encourage them to study hard, come out as the best students, such that they can go back and be able to change the societies they come from.
Actually, when we send them to schools, primary, secondary, and most especially universities, our package for them is to work harder where they are in schools to attain a better or the best grade, one, so that they can compete in the job market and be able to earn. And also our concern is we advise them to come back and be able to work towards transforming the communities and their families so that they don't remain the same people or same families as they were years before we got involved in their lives.
We have 20 children that have graduated. We are so happy about that. And our objective as Noah's Ark, we want to take through this child from a humble background and have them see a certain level that they could never expect in life. And we have seen parties. We have eaten some parties. Some of our children are married and they have children, and we bless God. And we bless God for Noah's Ark because we see success after success.
My name is Kabuma Jane. I grew an orphan. I went through many struggles to get educated. By 2010, I joined Noah's Ark family, which helped me to attain education. I'm now a qualified enrolled nurse. I'm married. I have 2 children, and I work with Hope Again Medical Center, and I bring hope to the family.
My name is Joseph Kasangaki. I was just 5 years old when my mother passed away, and then my father died when I was 10. In order to study, I could do some casual labors so that I pay school fees. Life became hard that I had to stop schooling in senior 5. But Noah's Ark came to my rescue, and through its support, I completed my studies with a diploma in business administration. Now I'm a businessman dealing in maize grains, cassava flour, and beans, and looking forward to marry. I really thank Noah's Ark for restoring my dream and hope.
I'm Businge Geoffrey Kagoro, Mayor Chenjojo Town Council. I'm here. I want to thank the Noah's Ark. I want to thank Noah's Ark for partnering with us as a government, more especially the government of Uganda, but in particular, Chenjojo Town Council, for supporting my area, for supporting my community. One, Noah's Ark has supported us in education, has brought for us a very good, nice school in the names of Joy Christian. Joy Christian is my best school in my area in Chenjojo Town. So I want to thank Noah's Ark. 2, Noah's Ark has supported vulnerable children, has supported orphans with education. They had no hope during that time, but at least now they are someone's. So they have even supported my community with clean water. I want to thank Noah's Ark. I want to thank God to support Noah's Ark so that they can expand their services to other areas in other community. I thank Noah's Ark.
Apart from what we are doing currently as Noah's Ark, we also have several other future plans. And one of them is to build a secondary vocational school that will help us take care of the current orphans and vulnerable children that we have. Instead of taking them to other schools, which is pretty expensive, they will join this school, but also give us more room for other overseas to join. And we also earn more income from that school because well-to-do parents will be attracted to our quality work that we give in the secondary school. And then the other plan that we have is to find more safe water sources for their communities, because currently most of these communities are taking water from dirty sources, which is causing a number of illnesses. And lastly, we would also love to do trainings and equipping a selected number of families in income generation in a way of helping them self-sustain so as to meet their day-to-day needs.